Eve from Chris and Tammy. Chris has gone fishing. He is fishing on Christmas Eve. So I thought I'd throw together a little bit of candy live for y'all today. And I am doing the vertical view because it's much easier to see me and the table when I don't have somebody videoing me. So we're going to get started. I love peanut butter Buckeyes. And last year I made them. And I use a lot of butter in mine. And I think that's why I love them so much, because when they melt in your mouth, you could taste that butter and the peanut butter and the chocolate. And to me, they're the best. Okay. So I can't hardly stay out of them. And I know I'll be the one that eats most of these, but that's okay because I love them at Christmas. We're going to start with butter. And I'm just going to I was going to make 2 recipes, but for the sake of being on here live, I think we'll just do 1 because I don't want y'all to have to wait forever for me to roll out a double batch. So we're going to put in room temperature butter, and it's 1 stick, which is, I believe it's a 1/2 cup. I can't even think today. Yeah, I can't even think. Yeah, it's a 1/2 cup. You ever get like that where you just can't think? All right, so what we're going to be doing is I'm going to use mini semi-sweet chips for this. And then we're also going to be making some white chocolate peanut clusters, which are my very favorite. We used to get it at the richest department store in the mall every year at Christmas for my daddy. And so I'm going to make a few of those as well. So we're going to be on here for a few minutes, not that many, but so you combine your sugar, your butter, your peanut butter in a mixing bowl. You add your vanilla and you mix it until it's creamy. It's super duper easy. So I am going to do the butter and the peanut butter first. And the peanut butter is also a 1/2 cup. So it's pretty much equal amounts. And then it has 2 cups of powdered sugar in it. So I hope y'all are ready for Christmas. I do not plan on going back out. Me and Chris went out to Publix last night and we could barely get a park. Well, we had to park way away from the store. There were no buggies. So you had to actually wait on somebody that was emptying their cart out at their car to grab a buggy. That's how crowded it was. And so you can imagine how the lines were in the Publix last night. So hopefully we won't have to go anywhere else. This is a 1/2 cup of creamy Jif peanut butter. And to me, nothing's better than Jif peanut butter. I love it. It's the best, the bestest. Okay, so we're going to mix this up first. Then we're going to add our powdered sugar. And we're going to get this real creamy. See who's with me today. Oh, I got somebody from Nova Scotia. Wow. Hey, Teresa, Stephanie, and Angela Potts. So I'm going to get this mixed up really good. I say I am. This thing don't reach down in there good. This little attachment actually came with a different mixer. My mixer attachment don't have a whisk. It just has the paddles. And I thought it might do better with a whisk. Let me just take it off. Because it don't really reach down in there good enough. It's too short. And like I said, it came with a different mixer. But I use it anyway. It'd be fine if I had a different bowl. I'll just put these in there and beat it. Now I'm going to start adding the powdered sugar, y'all. So it's a total of 2 cups of powdered sugar. I got to get something to get my powdered sugar with. Sorry. I bought 2 cups of powdered sugar. I'm going to turn y'all a little bit so I can stand right here. Oh my gosh, this powdered sugar is lumpy. I don't know where we got it, but it is lumpy and I don't want to sift it. I hope this beats it up good. I sure hope it does. If it don't, I'm going to be sorry. I may have to really beat it with the mixer. Yep, not sure where I got that powdered sugar. Must have got that one. I'd have to look at the bag again. It wasn't a name brand, it was a store brand. So you're going to mix this up. Let me get this back out in there. Going to add our vanilla. See, it says a teaspoon. Maybe that'll add just enough moisture to make it stick together better. Of course, you want it to be kind of a little bit stiff because you got to roll it into balls. Yeah, it's perfect. All right, let me just stir it really fast for a minute since that powdered sugar was lumpy. If you're just coming in, we're making peanut butter Buckeyes, peanut butter balls, and we're going to make some chocolate peanut clusters while these are getting cold in the freezer before we dip them. That's how you do. Easy. So easy to make and so delicious. So if you've never made your peanut butter Buckeyes with butter, oh my gosh, are they good. Equal part butter to peanut butter. And I mean, they're good, good, good. All right, we're just going to get it and start rolling balls out of it real quick. Let me put this over here. And I'm live today by myself. So y'all just going to have to wait a minute. What we'll do is use this to get them out of here. And that way they're all the same size. And then I'll roll them with my hands real quick. So y'all tell me where you're from. I'll look at the comments later. Because we don't have anybody coming today and tomorrow. It's just going to be me and Chris. So I'll have plenty of time to read your comments. I've still got to wrap presents, but we don't get together till the 27th. So I'm making appetizers mostly for our get-together. And I think Amy and Chris are spending the night, but I don't know if the rest of the kids are on the 27th. Now, Amy's birthday is the 28th. Every year, poor Amy at Christmas would have to spend her birthday with visiting family. It just drove her crazy. One year, I remember me and Chris took her downtown Atlanta. We stayed in a hotel for her birthday. And we stayed in a hotel and took her to the aquarium. Oh, somebody sent me a donation. That was sweet. I can see that easy. It comes up in bright yellow. I'm trying to hurry, y'all. I don't want y'all to have to wait on me forever. But at least we're getting to spend time together, right? I even got ready for y'all today. Now, it's been really cold here for our area. And last night, when we went to Publix, it was so cold. And I told Chris, I said, I believe this is the first Christmas that it actually felt like Christmas down here where we live. Most of the time, it's hot. I've got on shorts today because it's actually warmer today than it was yesterday. We don't have a lot of cold weather down here next to the coast. All right, that's all of them. Now we're just going to roll them real quick into little balls and start on our next adventure. So what I do is I roll them into balls and I put little toothpicks in them. I put them in the freezer. I melt my chocolate and dip them while they're cold, okay? Now, it cools your chocolate down when you do that pretty quick. So you have to keep reheating your chocolate in the microwave. And so y'all will have to deal with me walking away from the camera to use the microwave today. I didn't know where to set the camera up. I didn't want y'all staring at my microwave the whole time. I'd rather you see my Christmas tree behind me. So that's what I did. Whew. I'm hot, Happy. Yeah, my dogs had on their pajamas and it got so warm yesterday I took them off. Both had their checkups yesterday and went to the vet. Oh, I mailed out a lot of Christmas cards, and I told the people on Facebook, but I haven't told the people on YouTube that a lot of them come back to me because I put my return address on the back, and they mailed them to me instead of the person on the front. I didn't know you weren't supposed to do that, but boy, I know now. So I'll never do it again. So a lot of y'all, I sent you cards and you didn't even get them. It was a bummer. That was a bummer. But I've been getting a lot of cards and they're really pretty. And I love them. Thank y'all, everybody that sent me a Christmas card. I appreciate it. I love opening them and reading them and hanging up on my I hang them up on my wall. And they look like decoration when they come in. All the kids just love it when they come in here at Christmas. They're like, I just can't believe how many Christmas cards I get. So this is the kind of thing you can do as a family together because it takes a minute to get them rolled up. The kids can help. And this is a candy that's quick, done quick. If you didn't see me mix these up, I use butter. I use I use a half a cup of butter, a half a cup of creamy peanut butter, and I use Jif. And I use some vanilla and 2 cups of powdered sugar. And they're the perfect consistency. I actually thought about making, since it's butter, I actually thought about just using the powdered sugar and butter and using some maple flavoring and doing some maple ones. I think they'd be really good. I love maple anything. I don't know if you do, but I do. All right, we're going to put these on here straight. We're going to put some toothpicks on them. We're going to start our next project. Now, when I melt chocolate, I love real chocolate. Now, you can use the wafers and the other kind of chocolate if that's what you've got, but I like real chocolate. So most of the time, I use chocolate chips, okay? Let me grab my toothpicks. I didn't get them out. This thing, you can't even reach in and get them. I don't know what I was thinking. You can't come out 2 at a time. Okay. So I put these in them before I put them in the freezer because if you don't, then you can't get the toothpick in it when it's frozen. So it's smart to do it this way. And then you can just smooth it with your finger where the toothpick was if you don't want to see the little toothpick hole, if you're picky. So y'all tell me what kind of candies you made this year. Of course, I've made toffee. I've made peanut brittle and made toffee more than once, several times, because everybody loves it the most. I've made fudge, homemade Mama's fudge. Y'all seen me do that, I think. So now I'm doing the peanut butter balls and the clusters. And we're just having appetizers, and we're having simple stuff, too. I've got a ham. I'm going to have croissants and little slices of cheese with the ham. I'm going to have, and of course, I'll put some fancy mustard and different stuff on the table. And then I'm going to do, they want me to do artichoke dip and chips. And I'll probably do some kind of Mexican dip because I got a lot of chips. All right, let me go throw these in the freezer. And then we're going to start our clusters. Y'all want to see them up close? Here they are. That didn't take too long, did it? I'll be right back, I promise. I'm live, so y'all just got to deal with me walking away. This is the real thing. Okay. Sit you right there. Now, we're going to make some, this is my favorite. When I was growing up, my mama, let's see, peanut butter Buckeyes are actually in my second cookbook, I believe. Yeah. And I don't know which cookbook my peanut clusters are in. I'll have to look. But they're a staple because I love them. Let me see if they're in this one. Oh, candy. Nope. Wonder if they're in my first one. Or this one. Y'all just give me a second. I just want to tell y'all what cookbook they're in. Oh, they're in the same cookbook. They're in the volume 2. So I tell you to use a 16-ounce bar of white chocolate or a 16-ounce white chocolate bag of chips. And that's what we're going to use. So let me get me a bowl. When we were kids, Mama would take us to Rich's in the mall downtown in Atlanta. And they had a bakery there. And I didn't know they had the fresh coconut cakes like Mama made, but they did. And they would even put lemon curd in between the layers of their fresh coconut cakes. But they always had white chocolate peanut clusters. And I've never seen them anywhere else. If you go to any candy store, it don't matter where you're at, whether you're in the mountains or in Savannah or Charleston or wherever you go, they never have white chocolate with peanuts, Spanish peanuts. That's what I like. But back in the day, Rich's did. So I put my white chocolate in here. I go ahead and put my shortening in here, and it calls for a tablespoon. Now, you can use butter instead of shortening if you want to. Let's do that today. Why don't we? Make it even better. But that helps the candy melt and be smooth enough to dip. Otherwise, it's hard to dip it. Of course, we're not dipping this chocolate. We're just mixing it up with some peanuts. So I'm going to put this in the microwave on a low speed. I might change y'all's view right quick. Why not? Let's see. Can y'all see my microwave from there? No? I think you can there. I got y'all crooked. I've got to wash clothes today. All right. So there's a melt chocolate button on my microwave. I don't know if yours has one or not, but if you got one, why not use it, right? Why not use it? I'll just talk to y'all a second while it melts. Now, if you're using real chocolate, you don't want, let me just go ahead and tell you this. Do not mix real chocolate with chocolate wafers. If you do, it won't work. Another thing about real chocolate is real chocolate is a lot different than chocolate wafers in that you can't add food coloring to it or anything like that. If you do, it changes the consistency of it. So if you're wanting to color something for cookies or whatever, you need to use the wafers. Because if you put food coloring in real chocolate, the white chocolate, it will not work. So that's good to know for y'all. Merry, Merry Christmas. Is anybody out there like me and Chris? They're not going to have anybody over for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. We're not, but we will on the 27th. So at least we got somebody coming in. See how this melted setting does. And it's working pretty doggone good, y'all. Working pretty good. It smells so good. I just love white chocolate. Love it. And this is a really good brand. All right. It's got 21 seconds left. So I would say that timed that pretty doggone good. Now, what I use is a Planters Spanish red skin peanuts with the skins on and they're salted. They are so good as a peanut cluster. They're the best. And if you've been buying peanut clusters at the store, because I know a lot of y'all do, the chocolate ones, you need to make your own. And you need to use some Planters peanuts because they're the best. And you need to use red skin peanuts and you will be in hog heaven. You will be like, oh my gosh, why don't I just make these myself instead of buy them? Because you could make a lot of peanut clusters cheaper than what you've been using it for. All right, I tell you to use this. I tell you to use 16 ounces of peanuts. There ain't no way. I must have lost my mind when I wrote that recipe. That says you'd use 16 ounces. I don't think I can use this whole thing. Well, we'll see. I might be right. I wonder if back when I wrote this recipe, a jar was 16 ounces and now they've changed it to 12. I think that's enough. Just add the peanuts until you think it's enough. How's that? Now, they might not be the most beautiful things in the world because of all of the skins. Oh, my stars, they're delicious. So I'm going to let y'all see it up close. And then we're just going to, that's how easy it is. 1, 2, 3. How easy is that? Let's taste it off the spoon. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Yummy, yum, yum. I used, I don't know how to pronounce it right. Ghirardelli. Boy, they got good chocolate. Good chocolate, y'all. So you just get your spoon and spoon them out. And now you got 2 candies made in just a few minutes. And then all we got left is to dip our Buckeyes, and it don't take but a second to dip them. And sometimes you do have to heat your chocolate back up. Let's see how many clusters we get out of this recipe. Looks like plenty. And the bad thing about these is these are so good I can't hardly stay out of these. I have a hard time with peanuts. I love peanuts. Y'all know that. I love peanut brittle. I love peanut butter Buckeyes. I love my peanut butter pie. And y'all know what? I don't eat peanut butter like just eat peanut butter like some people do. Like my May can just eat peanut butter out of the jar. And I can't do that. Some of y'all probably can do that. So these will, even with the butter in there, because butter is cold at room temperature. It's not, you know, hard. I mean, it is hard at room temperature. It's not too soft. Now, if you keep your house really warm, you might want to use shortening instead, but I don't. I keep my house 69 degrees is what my house stays at, 69. Sometimes 67. If I'm cooking, I turn it down to 67 because it gets so hot in here. And we haven't even been running our heater unit in that side of the house that's for that addition that was put on here years ago. I've got one of those little fireplaces they used to call them Amish fireplaces, the wooden ones. I've got one of those. It's in our real fireplace. I just slid it in there, and it runs and heats that side of the house up. I don't even run that unit in the winter. Yummy. Let's see how many I got. That one's mostly chocolate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 20 full ones out of one bag, and not even a whole thing of peanuts. Yummy. There you go. You know, if I had bought those at Rich's, it would have cost a blasted fortune. All right, now we're going to melt some chocolate. Let me rinse my hands off. I'm licking my fingers. So hard not to. We're going to melt some chocolate for our Buckeyes and dip them. We're going to be done. So, I'm so glad to see everybody today. I hope you're happy to see me too. All right, for the Buckeyes, it says use the whole thing. I'm just going to use this because you want to use something small so that when you dip it in there, whether you're dipping cherries or whatever, it's tall and skinny, and that way it's easier to dip it down inside there, if that makes sense. You want it to be tall and skinny at the bottom. So I'm just going to add some chocolate chips to this. I'm using mini semi-sweet. If you don't want semi-sweet with your peanut butter, I think it's the best with the peanut butter. Then you can use something else. And since I'm only mixing up a little bit of this at a time, I'm just going to put in a teaspoon of butter, okay? Instead of it being as much butter as was in the other one. You just want to put in just a little bit to make it smooth for dipping. All right, we're going to go put this in the microwave. I'm going to put it on the melt setting for chocolate. It did so good with the other. It actually melted it perfectly without scorching it. I have if you're wondering what kind of microwave I've got, it is a Sharp Carousel. Sharp Carousel is the name of it. It does a really good job. I love the melt soften button. And a lot of y'all probably have one and don't even know it's there. Some of them are hard to understand. You know, what they actually have. All right, I'm going to go get our peanut butter Buckeyes. Yummy. My peanut butter's good. Well, that pan is cold. Now, if you want yours creamier on the inside, I will say this. If you want your peanut butter Buckeyes a lot creamier on the inside, then when you mix them up, just put a little extra butter or peanut butter in there so that they get just a tad creamier, if that's what you like, okay? Mine are not super creamy because, here, let me check this. It's smoking. I better check it. Y'all, it's burnt. Can you believe that? I burn it. I got to throw it away. And it stinks. I burnt the chocolate. Well, I guess because those were mini chocolate chips, I couldn't leave them in as long as the white ones. And they were deeper too. Y'all, I got to have this because this is what I want to dip them in. I got to wash it. Now my house smells like burnt chocolate. Leave it to me. if you do that, make sure you get all the chocolate out of it because you don't want your Buckeyes to taste burnt. Here we go again. This time, I got to take this one out and stir it a lot more than I did the white because it's tall and skinny, I guess. Let's try that again. Why don't we? I think I hear Chris. I think I heard the motor of the boat turn on. Sure do. The boat motor. He'll be hungry and I ain't made him nothing to eat. All right, here we go again. Crazy woman. I'm a crazy woman. Well, I'll check that in 30 seconds. Anyway, my Buckeyes are just more like a Reese cup texture. Okay, so like I said, if you wanted them a lot creamer, you could do yours a little different. Make it a little softer. That's all you got to do. All right, I'm going to check my chocolate, y'all, because I don't want to burn it again. Chris will come in and go, "What's that smell?" We tried making butterscotch morsel Buckeyes one year. They were nasty. Really? I like butterscotch morsels. I wonder what happened to make them nasty. All right, let me stir this good, y'all. It took the regular chocolate chips 1 minute and 30 seconds on that melt setting, but this is going to take a lot longer, and it's setting up on me. For heaven's sakes. I don't know what brand of chips these are. I may have to wind up using something else. They may turn out to be a pain in the buttocks. It's doing what I told you it would do if you had to add something to it. Using real chocolate is hard compared to the morsels sometimes. That white chocolate melted so pretty for us, but this is not melting right. Dang it. Swear. I wonder if it's because I had a little bit of water in it or something. I'm going to try this in this bowl, and then if it don't work in this, we're going to get out some wafers. This might be an off-brand chocolate. I don't know for sure if it is. And I don't know if it's the butter, so I'm going to use shortening this time. And we're going to see what happens. Lord, I didn't know I had the cabinet open over here. Okay, why are you being such a pain in the buttocks for me today? Crazy chocolate. Here we go again. It's like it's really thick. Let's see if anybody's giving me pointers on real chocolate. I think we're adding water to our butter nowadays. Yes, it's the butter. Yeah, it's really weird. It worked great with the white chocolate. The butter did. So this time we're using shortening. Maybe that was it. They do put water in butter these days. They sure do. You just never know what you're going to get. Never know what you're going to get. Nowadays, y'all are being patient with me, and I appreciate it. I'm so sorry. Real life. See, if I was doing a video, I would just clip all this stuff out and act like I knew everything. Oh, Lord. I've never used butter in dark chocolate before, so I just thought I'd try it. Let's see what you do with the shortening. All right, let me heat it up a little more. We're going to see if it's going to work. Now it's softened. It's worth it because there's nothing better to me than a good old peanut butter Buckeye. And if you're just tuning in, my Buckeyes are a half a cup of butter, room temperature, a half a cup of peanut butter, and 2 cups of powdered sugar. Do you smell that burnt chocolate, Chris? A burnt chocolate. Then it wouldn't do right with butter in it. So now I put shortening in it. Well, I did white chocolate. No, never. But I did white chocolate with butter, and it worked. Plus, I don't know what brand this is. You know what I mean? I don't know what brand of chocolate this is that I have in here. Do you remember what brand we picked up for the mini chocolate chips? Was it just the off-brand at Aldi? It looks like it's going to be creamy, y'all, this time. It's going to be a miracle if I can. Oh, my gosh. It looks like it worked. Y'all, it was the butter. Now it looks good. I'll show it to y'all. I don't want it to burn my hand. Shortening. That's what I got in my recipe. That's what Mom always used. All right, let's dip a couple. I may have to thin it just a little bit more to make them pretty. I don't like them super thick with chocolate myself. So you just dip them. Yeah, I want it a little bit thinner. And set it back down on there. That's all there is to it. I'm going to put just a little bit more shortening in it to get it just a little bit thinner. So I might could just mix it up since it's already warm. But it's just a lot easier when you're using something tall and skinny like I had to start with. Now, a lot of y'all use paraffin wax. And I read that it wasn't digestible, but I think maybe the old kind wasn't, but now they say it is. So I don't know. I don't know everything. I only know what I read, and you can't believe everything you read. So who knows, right? This ain't even hot on the bottom. So you just dip it. And if you want it to look like a Buckeye, then you go side to side so that what's left on it looks like an eye. That's why they're called Buckeyes. Thank you, Gina. Y'all are being sweet on Christmas. Y'all must have the Christmas spirit today. Christmas spirit in the house today. They're giving us gifts, Chris, today. Aren't they sweet? All right, I'm going to zap this just a little bit more. Guess what else I made? Peanut clusters. Yep, there they are. Show it to them up close so that they can see they set up already. Because I put butter in those and they did great.
Ready to go.
Whoa, I got to get my chocolate. Yeah, these are already setting up too. When you stick these in the freezer, boy, is it a lot easier. Chris, why don't you turn that on and tell me if they have questions, because I'm dipping these and it's hard for me to see the screen while I'm dipping. They might get bored. I'll try to hurry. Y'all gonna see how fast I can work. I spin them after I go side to side. I just spin it around so that it gets the extra off. And you do have to keep heating it, y'all, because these Buckeyes are cold. We put them in the freezer. So they actually cool the chocolate down after you dip them. Now, if we had used wafers, when you use wafers, they're for melting. You don't have to add the butter or the shortening or anything to them. They just melt up, and they're thin, and they're easier to dip stuff in, but they're just not real chocolate. There's the difference. I think you can buy some melting wafers that are more like chocolate, but the bark is absolutely not, for sure. Y'all know what I'm talking about. My sister made some candy, and she said she used the bark, and she used the cheap bark because that's all they had left. And she said the candy wasn't even good. And so sometimes it matters. So when you're making stuff for the holidays, it's good to grab the good stuff, even if it is more of a pain in the butt. It just tastes better to everybody. And that way everybody thinks you're the best, you know, when you serve it to them. All right, we're going to zap this one more time. I'm going to see how many I can get before I have to melt anymore. None of them's completely set up yet. None of them happy. And be careful because your bowl will be hot. Y'all don't have to copy me. I'm brave. I'm a brave cook. Brave and crazy. Sometimes. Chris, did you catch a fish? Not one fish. The fish are on the holiday. They don't eat on their holidays like we do. Do they, Chris? They don't know it's Christmas, and they're supposed to eat a lot at Christmas. So he said he didn't get a fish, not one. Uh-oh. If you wait too long to dip, your things will start falling out of them. So you might want to make sure your chocolate has melted before you bring out your goods. I'm going to get them all in here. I'm just not being able to shake the last ones off. Well, you shouldn't. It's Christmas. Do they even have shrimp? All right. We got it. Took us a minute, but we did it, y'all. A tray of Buckeyes. Done. Now look, we got 2 candies. And it would have been a lot quicker had I not burnt the chocolate and had to cook the chocolate 3 different times. But since I did it 3 different times, when you do it, you'll do it right the first time. Right? This is my favorite. Those peanuts have those skins on them with salt. And mixed in there with that white chocolate. Now, if you don't like white chocolate, just mix it up with some regular milk chocolate. Oh, I love them. Love them, love them. I'll try to eat one of these for y'all. They're not quite set up. And then once they set up completely and you take the toothpick out, you can take your finger and just kind of cover up that. You just got to be patient and take your time with it. which I didn't. It's melting on my fingers because it hadn't set up yet. My Buckeyes are the best because they're nothing but butter and peanut butter. Real butter. Mmm. 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 I bet a Reese cup don't have real butter in it. Not like pure butter like I use. That would cost them a fortune. They might have something that's butter flavored in there. That's good, y'all. So I hope y'all have enjoyed watching me today. Me and Chris wish you all a very Merry Christmas. And it's real possible that I come on here tomorrow because we don't have anybody coming. And I'll probably be cooking something else. So you may see us again tomorrow. I hope you have a Merry Christmas. I hope Santa Claus comes to see you tonight. Tonight, go to bed early. Make sure you're good. Okay? I love you. And we'll see you next time on Collard Valley Cooks, where we cook like our mamas did. Bye, y'all. Love you. It's good to see everybody. And I will look at the comments.